Hello everybody, this is Bob Conley coming to you from our new production studio up here on our campus in Alma, Michigan. This is part of our new administrative building, and one of our dreams was that we would be able to come to you through the wonderful medium of visual, and this is part of that process. So we've started this. You know, Bill and Tom, and I'll introduce them in just a minute, have been coming to you through video for a couple of months now. But once we got the studio finished, we wanted to make this a little more of a entertainment venue. So they're still going to talk to you about things that are going on with them. And as we progress with this program, we're going to be coming to you with other guests and all kinds of things that we want to talk to you about, updates, topics of interest, and we're going to have some fun with this. So this month is our first try at this program, and it might have a few bumps in there, but we're going to have some fun along the way. It is a pleasure for me to introduce our guests, and they'll always be with us as long as we do this program the way that we're contemplating it. And first, it's a pleasure for me to introduce a very good friend, Bill Finkel. Bill is past Grand Master, currently Grand Secretary of the Grand Lodge, which is a great job. I know I've had it in the past. You took it from me. You've done a better job than I did, but it's good to have you, Bill. Thanks for being here.
Good to be here, Bob.
And Bill is past master and member of Solomon's Key Lodge number 580 down in Allen Park. And again, it's good to have Bill with us. He's going to be talking to you in just a moment about a few things on his plate that he wants you to know about. Next to him is our good friend as well, Tom Braun. Tom is past master of Cedar Lodge number 60, currently sits as our grand lecturer and does a great job with all of our ritual needs across the state, and it's good to have you with us, Tom.
Good to be here. Thanks, Bob.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. You know, Brother Bill, as Grand Secretary, deals with a lot of lodge issues all the time, and it's everything from fraternal needs to people going to other jurisdictions and so forth. That Bill works with other jurisdictions and makes sure that that our sojourning Masons are taken care of when they go out. Bill, there's a lot of things that kind of this Grand Secretary has to deal with. Why don't you just talk briefly about some of those things?
Well, just visiting brothers. Whenever a brother visits another jurisdiction, I write a letter of introduction for them, as long as they're in good standing. Of course, I won't write letters if they're not in good standing, but if they're in good standing, I write
that is something we check. We make sure that they're in good standing.
Yep,
Good.
yes,
Yeah.
we do.
All right.
And that will get them into any lodge anywhere that we recognize.
So basically, they need that letter. Do they need a dues card?
I need a dues card.
So-
I need the letter to go with it.
So
Yeah.
if you're traveling, if you're sojourning in another state or in another country, more specifically, be sure to take your dues card with you.
Yeah, I just recently had a request from a brother and he quoted me 2 lodges he wanted to visit, but on checking those lodges, I found out that they were Prince Hall lodges in Texas.
Yeah. In most states, we do have reciprocal visitation rights to Prince Hall if the Grand Lodge that we recognize also recognizes it.
If the Grand Lodge recognizes them, then we do.
Okay. So it's a good thing to check first before you go. Yeah. All right. Good. Bill, you put down, and when we were talking about doing some things today, what things are kind of on your mind? You talked about the 990, which seems to be the bane of every secretary's existence. You know, and we've got a list, and we're going to pop it up on the screen for you so that you folks can kind of follow along and then copy these things down. But Bill, number 1, you put down on your list about doing a 990. So this is kind of for the secretary, but also for the lodge.
Right.
To prepare. What do you mean by that?
Well, Bob, the 990 is required every year, but it seems like it comes as a surprise to some secretaries.
Yeah.
And I want them to be mentally prepared that is coming. It's like just like the seasons. It comes once a year. The instructions are issued in January, and I want them to be prepared. It's coming.
Yeah.
Every year.
And you know, we do have a both in groupable and a spreadsheet that they can use, that if they actually used those things, the work to put together the 990 is really pretty simple.
If they use a spreadsheet throughout the year, it's just a matter of transferring figures from this spreadsheet to the 990 form.
Right.
And most, if not all, the work is done for them.
Yeah. So if that would help you to get that spreadsheet, then just shoot you a note or give the office a call or an email, and we'll be happy to email that out to you. Great. So start early is really a good maxim then?
yeah.
Kind of start now, right?
Well, yeah.
If you started now, you'd
This
be done.
this is really important for lodges that go dark in January or any of the winter
Yeah.
months, because I mean the Blue Book says 990's got to be in by March 1st.
Right.
If you go dark January and February, that don't need a hell of a lot of time to do a 990.
That's right.
However, the lodge doesn't have to be open for a 990 to be done. The secretary can do it
Yeah.
anytime.
There is no approval of the 990 by the lodge.
No.
It's just done and it's sent in.
Right.
Great. There are videos, it's noted here on MichiganMasons.org that'll help you step by step.
Yeah,
get through
and
that.
I made sure that I had Darren Thompson go through it to make sure that video is still valid and it's still good, as good today as it was when it was done. This was actually brought to my attention by a secretary. He said he didn't know what to do, and he looked at the video, and it was easy after that.
There you go.
So
See, secretaries will always figure a way out to do this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Per capita payments.
per capita payments are due March 20th. Now, I would like lodges. Well, let me rephrase. There seems like a lot of secretaries go south for the winter, and we've got nobody to sign the
Right.
check. So I would like lodges to set it up with banks so that 3 people are good, authorized to sign a check, but it only takes 2 of them. So any 2 of 3 can sign a check. Then we wouldn't have to wait for people to come back from
Yeah.
Florida.
No, great idea. Should a lodge have somebody else kind of in the queue to know how to do these things and get that set, and
Well,
in case the secretary does go south, or
Wow.
God forbid something happens to him?
Well, and that did happen this year, Bob, because during 2021 we had 3 secretaries that passed away, and unfortunately, and among other things, but they left the lodge with nobody that knew
Yeah.
how to do the 990.
Yeah.
And I thought if maybe somebody else that is familiar with the process, somebody else in the lodge could step in and take care of that. And I don't want any more secretaries to die, but
Right.
it could happen.
Well, it does happen.
Yeah.
You know, people get sick, or
Yeah, yeah.
or something else happens. You know, a winning team is always determined by the
Wow.
depth of its bench,
Yeah.
and if it doesn't have a deep bench, then if anything happens, it becomes, you know, far more of a
Is that like no one of us as good as all of us?
well, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So get somebody to help, have them partner up with you, and it doesn't, you know, it doesn't have to be a past master. It might be a new member that just might have a little time and wants to learn some things about how the lodge operates. Could be a way to do that.
They could also contact another secretary of another lodge
You bet.
to help them out.
You
And most secretaries will help.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're the greatest ones around. I know I worked with too many of them.
Yeah.
They've all died, but it was good to have them while they were here. All right, Bill, anything, you know, to
No,
wrap
just,
wrap it up?
Wrap it up. Just the 990s is important. It's a government regulation. We have to do this. And the problem, Bob, is that because the Grand Lodge files with the IRS on behalf of all the lodges, we cannot file till all 990s are in.
Yeah.
So I say this over and over again that we have to file for an extension. We may incur penalties or fines because we're late, and that's borne by Grand Lodge. And I want them all in on time.
Well, there was a policy a couple of years ago that actually, if we are fined, it goes to the lodges that were late. So we haven't had to do that, but it is there.
They won't pay the per capita, Bob. I don't want to fine them on top of that.
Yeah, I don't know what they pay it with, but anyway, it's there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks,
You do a
Bob.
great job.
Yeah.
We're glad you're doing it. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
We're going to have you and Tom kind of sit your move down. Tom Braun, ritualist par excellence, the guy to whom is laid on your table everything about ritual, right, in the state of Michigan. What are you working on right now?
Well, we just completed our ritual competition for 2022.
How'd that work out?
It was great. We have 2 winners that they're going to be announced at the annual communication.
Good.
Uh,
Would that be at the banquet?
It'll be at the banquet on Monday night.
Okay.
the,
All right.
delegates
Look
banquet.
forward to that.
So we're planning on our ritual competition for next year, and we've tried to pick pieces of the ritual that's not normally available to everybody. Not everybody knows that. So putting that through the, this year, the competition was the middle chamber lecture. And
One of my favorites.
yeah, and next year, I think we're going to do the historical account and the Master Mason degree. That's what we're looking for. So, but we'll
You will
announce
now
that.
repair to the east. Yeah,
And
and
receive.
receive an historical account. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, that's very good. Look forward to that. You mentioned in your stuff the other day when we were talking about district deputy instructor certification. What does that entail?
Well, it's I have 18 points that a DDI must be certified on to teach our ritual in their lodges of instruction.
Okay.
And it's nothing that they haven't done as a master of their lodge. But I want their lodges to understand and know that their DDI is certified to teach our ritual.
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
That's right.
Right, and got the certification. Now, is that like do they have a certificate?
We present them with a certificate, usually at their at the business meeting of their home lodge,
That's
and we try to make it a big deal. So
Yeah, and let's make sure
and it
that
is a big deal.
that we know that, and we can add it into our weekly e-news and make sure that that everybody knows that that's happening. I think that's a big deal.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Grand Lodge is coming up. The DDIs and the regional Grand Lecturers always meet. What are you kind of thinking about for that? That'll be Monday morning, so that'll be the 23rd.
23rd, 9 o'clock. We're going to start. We have a half a day. We've got it filled with not only the DDI certification and what that entails, but we'll cover the lodge's certification on their ability to open and close the lodge without the aid of a ritual in all 3 degrees.
Okay.
We also have certification for the deacons and the wardens, and we'll cover that also. We don't have a certification for the master because he should know his work when he gets to that chair. So
He's been through the
it's
other
too
two.
late to certify him.
Yeah, he should be there by now. Yeah. Well, it's important for us, I think all of us as Masons, to understand that there are really very few things that a lodge must do to be considered a Masonic lodge, right? Blue Book specifies what those things are, and one of them is, actually the primary one is, that they must be able to perform the work. So the front of the book to the back of the book, they must be able to perform the work. And if we did that, you think about the caliber of the degree experience that a new initiate or a fellow craft master mason would get if we really did that.
Yeah.
So I applaud you. I applaud your DDIs in really working with the lodges and making sure that they're doing the best they can. Yeah. Going to Grand Lodge, right?
We are.
What are you going to wear?
We are going to wear, at the opening, the Grand Lodge officer will be wearing morning suit. But the DDIs and other attendees
Yes.
should be wearing a suit and tie or a sports coat and tie.
Okay.
That should be the dress code for that day.
Not should be.
It is the dress code for
That's
that
it.
day.
So
How's
the
that?
dress code to get into Grand Lodge, fellas, is coat and tie. Should be a white shirt, dark coat like you're wearing, and a dark tie. Blue is nice. I like that. And your apron. So if you have your own apron, you can wear that, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But we will have some there if you don't have it. So you don't need to worry about that. But if you do have your own apron, you're more than welcome to wear it, especially if you're a delegate. It might have your lodge number on it or something along those lines. Yeah. So we'd love to have you looking sharp when you come to Grand Lodge. Wear a coat and tie. The Tylers will not allow you in without one.
Okay.
So that's pretty much the rule at our Grand Lodge session. Anything else that you're thinking about, Tom?
Well, I want the craft to know that our focus in doing the degree work and teaching the ritual is the candidate. Okay. He's the most important person in that lodge room at that time. We talk about, we initiate, we pass men, and we raise them to sublime degree of that Master Mason. But what we're going to concentrate on this year is building Masons for tomorrow. Lodges have to understand that these new men coming into our fraternity are going to be the DDIs, are going to be the regionals and the BGPs, and hopefully the Grand Lodge officers.
Absolutely.
And this beloved fraternity of ours is our responsibility to keep it going.
Yeah, good words. Thank you for all you do, Tom. Do a great job for us.
Bob.
So that wraps up kind of our guest conversations this afternoon, and I just got a couple of things that we'll wrap up with. Upcoming stuff, May 15th. May 15th, this building is finally 99.9% completed. And we're going to have an open house. We want you to come up. So come on up to our open house here, 1200 Wright Avenue in Alma. And it starts at 1 o'clock, goes to 3. We've got some souvenirs. We've only got a few of them, so get here early. But we'd love to have you come up. We'll have some refreshments, give some tours through the building. You'll get to see our mural that we're very proud of, and that has generated a huge amount of interest. So we'd love to have you come up. And of course, as we already talked a little bit about, May 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. May 22nd is our golf outing, our annual golf outing before the Grand Lodge. It's a chance for us to get together, have some fun. Maybe share a cocktail, have a Bloody Mary or something out there on the course.
Sounds good.
People laugh at me tremendously, so it's not really fun for me, but we'll have a good time out there. So I got a good foursome this year. We'll have some fun. And we'd love to have you. If you haven't done that, you can go onto the Grand Lodge website, all the information. You do need to register to come to Grand Lodge. Everything about it makes it a lot easier when you do that. If you don't, we'll probably end up calling you. So this is more for the delegates of Grand Lodge, but we do need you to register. Even if you're not buying any of the meals or anything, we still need you to register. So please do that. Again, all the information for that is on the Grand Lodge website. And if you have any questions, any of us would be more than delighted to help you. But certainly Brother Finkel and myself and the Grand Lodge office are always available for you. May 23rd then, starting in the morning, Tom and his DDIs and ritual team, they'll be meeting there on their own. The BGPs will be meeting, the Board of General Purposes reps, for those of you who don't know what that is. They'll be meeting on their own as well. But we've got breakouts. For Lodge Success Team will be having a breakout. The foundation will be having a breakout on the Lodge charity account and some other things. Member Care Department will be having a breakout about the home and about their things that they can do. Green Path, which is a great financial planning resource for you. Free Will, which is a great legal aid for you. So there's a lot of stuff going to go on in the morning. We're going to have lunch, 1 o'clock. Grand Lodge is going to open. The Grand Master is going to open it on that date. Even though we're going to spend that afternoon kind of going through the legislation, we're going to look at the budgets, and we're going to talk about meeting with the candidates for Grand Lodge office. And we'll be talking with them that afternoon. Have banquet that night, be a lot of fun. It's going to be a nice banquet. We got a lot of good things planned. We got games planned. We got all kinds of stuff that we're going to have. We got some raffles. We're going to try to find where George, our brother, illustrious brother Washington, might be hiding. So we've got some good things planned for you. This whole team up here, Tammy Dakenbrink, Karen Wolfgang, Kelly Thompson, everybody up here has been working really hard to make sure this is a great event for us. So we're going to have some fun. Please be sure and register, though. 24th, we start off in the morning about 9 o'clock, I suppose. Might be a little earlier if we got a lot of business. And we'll do our legislation. We'll approve all the budgets and the reports. Grand Master's address will be held that morning. And then we'll elect our officers. And that afternoon then, about 1 o'clock, 1:30 maybe, we'll install our new Grand Master. So it's going to be a great time. And we want to see you there. So this program will continue the way that it has. And our next guest will be our current Grand Master in show. Brother Bill and Brother Tom will be with us, and then after that will be our next Grand Master, whoever that may be. And we don't want to jinx anything, so hopefully that'll be happening pretty quick. Thanks for everything. Have a great Masonic month, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.